second Gymkhana round returns us to one of the best races that we had last season. As hello everyone, welcome here to Summit Point Raceway in West Virginia for round number 8 of the 2018 NASA Rallycross Challenge season. As it's Josh Mertz bringing you the call, as always, for the Automotive Sports Network, getting ready to go for today's race. We're going to have 8 cars getting ready to take part in this race. 2 heat races, 6 laps apiece. Joker lap once, LCQ 4 laps, Joker lap once, top 2 advance, and we'll have a 6-car final for 10 laps, and Joker twice. So we're going to jump right into it in just a couple moments, but you'll notice on screen, Chad Simpson. It is him and Philip Kraus who are the fastest 2 cars here in West Virginia. Connor Parise, Jeff Appelgren, the Vujan cars are not here, nor is Marwan Moftah, so this should certainly be exciting between Last Lap Motorsports and Subaru MRT. As Philip Kraus looking to get ever closer to that 3rd Drivers' Championship, but he will have to deal with Chad Simpson today as we get ready for heat number 1. Philip Kraus, Josh Mertz, Dylan Livengood returning, and Victor Valley getting ready for heat number 1 in West Virginia. Green flag, the factory Subaru's off the line. Kraus beats his teammate to turn 1, and Dylan Livengood in a one-off drive in a private Subaru battling with Victor Valley. So the 2 men that have been battling all season between each other, the teammates have been on top of each other all season long. Remember last season in turn 5 right there is when Kraus threw it away for his teammate to take the lead, but Kraus has had the upper hand on Mertz today in West Virginia. And Victor Valley in the Volkswagen, and then Dylan Livengood, who we thought was gone from the NASA Rallycross Challenge, has returned in car number 51. So it's good to see the 4-time champion back on track, certainly much healthier after that off-track accident that he's had. But at the end of the first lap, Philip Kraus will lead the brigade into turn 1. Let's see who's going to joker on this first opportunity. The teammates do not. Valley will, but he cuts it, looks like, in the 60. He stopped to give up some time. And the Indianapolis native struggling in the Volkswagen. And Philip Kraus has a 17-point lead over Connor Parise. Parise not here. This is going to be a huge margin for Parise to claw back for the next couple of races at Lucas Oil in Iowa, as the 17th season looking to close up in the next couple of weeks. We're going to see what the lap times are between the teammates as we come to complete the second lap, the first flying lap of heat number 1. As red plate holder Kraus ahead of his teammate Mertz in car number 1, 57.754 to a 57.905. If we look at Livengood, a 58.8 for the Canadian in car number 51. And he will joker. Very slow joker. Remember, he hasn't been in a car for quite some time, so certainly lacking a little bit of seat time. As Kraus holding off his teammate. They're getting close. Mertz can get close, but I don't think he can pass him. This is going to be fascinating to see, as we'll look from high above here in Summit Point. It's about 2-3 car lengths between the teammates. Kraus got a much better run down the back straightaway than Mertz did, and you can tell that certainly has stretched the advantage. We're going to look at the lap time refresh here as we take cross flags. 58 flat to a 58.2. Mertz was faster than his teammate, and Kraus jokers in car number 1. Comes out ahead of Valley, as I think Valley is off the lead lap. He had a penalty in car number 60. He jumped the start, and the penalty is you're supposed to drop to the back of the field. I don't think Valley knew that, and he went to the pit lane to clear the black flag. 58 flat for Mertz. We'll see the joker difference That's not a good season for the defending champion. We've talked about that every week. Has not won yet this season. His teammate has 3 wins. Valley in the 60, a lap down, and Living Good struggling in the 51. Mertz will come off the final corner, take 2 laps to go in Summit Point. He runs a 58 flat once again. Kraus, who jokered, ran a 103.7, so that makes it about a 6-second delta. Mertz jokers in car number 1. He comes out behind his teammate. It was a huge gap that he clawed back, but the exit of the joker killed him. And Kraus holds the lead. Remember, Valley's off the lead lap, so these two are battling for the win of the heat race. They both have a transfer. Let's right on board the rear bumper of Philip Kraus and take a look at what his teammate's doing. As we take the white flag in Summit Point, Philip Kraus holds the lead. Valley nearly slams into the back of Mertz as he missed the braking point. But it's the battle between the teammates. There's no issue of a transfer spot. But Mertz is trying very hard to get those 2 bonus points. Hasn't won a heat race, I believe, since Texas. So it has been a couple weeks. Philip Kraus has had the upper hand. It's extremely hard to defend a championship. The teammates talked about that a couple weeks ago between each other. And we'll potentially see another number swap between these 2 cars, and that has been the thing for the last 4 seasons. Final corner for the 3rd week in a row. Pole position to Philip Kraus as he wins Heat 1. Mertz transfers into the LCQ is Valley with Living Good. On pole position for heat number 2, Chad Simpson in car number 24. Then it's going to be Matt Kingsbury, Ray Kingsbury, Jacob Kraus. All 3 last lap cars in this heat race. And Simpson is on fire today at Summit Point. 6 laps. Green flag off the line. Kingsbury gets a better jump than his teammate off the line, but he's going to have the outside run into turn number 1, and he cannot make it happen as he runs it wide. Simpson holds the lead. Ray passes his brother, and nearly contact between Kraus and Kingsbury. As we head down into turn number 5, Jacob Kraus gets by Matt Kingsbury in the 21. Kraus runs it wide in the 42. And yes, this is a battle for 3rd spot, but Kingsbury roughs up Kraus. Kraus runs it wide. Kingsbury runs it wide. And to the inside goes Kraus. And they make contact, and around is the 42 of Jacob Kraus. I don't think that's going to be a penalty. It looks like Jacob Kraus pinched Matt to the curb. So that shouldn't be any penalty for the Connecticut native. Chad Simpson leads us for Last Lap Motorsports as we begin lap 2. And if the MRT teammates were running about 58-second laps, we'll have to see what Chad can do. Ray Kingsbury jokers gets passed by his brother Matt. And we'll have to see what Chad can do on this lap. It's going to be the first flying lap. We know the tires aren't going to be fully up to temperature compared to lap 4 and lap 5 of the heat race last race. But it'll definitely give us an indication if Simpson's going to be on the pace today for a race victory. As Matt has not jokered yet, ahead of his brother, as Ray in the 3rd spot. And Simpson off the final corner. Let's see what he runs. 58.5. So he's half a second down comparatively to the MRT teammates. If we look at lap time, we'll just have to keep an eye on those lap times to see if he can get any ground made up. Matt still hasn't jokered in the 21, so his brother, realistically, I think that heat race is run already because his brother doesn't have the delta. Matt, that is, over Ray. So one of these last lap cars, obviously to the LCQ. We still have 4 laps to decide it. 3.5. As Jacob Kraus in the back of the field as we run through here. And the Wisconsin native certainly struggling in car number 42. As we head back to the sharp end. Cross flags for Chad Simpson. And Simpson does joker in the 24. He ran a 58.137, so he would be on pace with Kraus and Mertz. Matt still hasn't jokered, but he beats Ray. Simpson beats Ray out of the joker rotation. So like I was mentioning, realistically, when Matt jokers, that's going to settle the transfer spots in Heat 2. But if Matt can get close to his teammate and put pressure on him, move him up out of the groove, his brother will certainly like that, because we know that Ray is kind of in a points battle with Mertz. So the more bonus points you get, obviously, the higher you'll be. But we're going to have 2 to go to see what'll happen with Matt Kingsbury. If he gets close to his teammate, we know he's not afraid of hitting his teammate, whether it's intentional or by mistake, given last week, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, in Atlanta. 2 to go for Simpson. Kingsbury late on the brakes, nearly into the back of Simpson. He does joker. He releases his brother to fight Simpson. But I don't think there's going to be any battle between the teammates in Summit Point. As Matt Kingsbury 3rd and Jacob Kraus still in the 4th position. Let's ride on board Simpson and enjoy a lap of Summit Point. Simpson hard at work in car number 24. We saw Ray Kingsbury in the back of the shot there. Nowhere close to his teammate. So it's going to be a formation finish with Last Lap Motorsports off the final corner. Simpson and Ray Kingsbury transfer through and get some bonus points. LCQ will go Matt with Jacob Kraus. So interestingly, to promote more cars and better racing, for the first time ever, the LCQ has been skipped and there are no eliminations when typically we would have them. So, on pole position will be Philip Kraus. In car number 2, Chad Simpson, Mertz, Ray Kingsbury. Then we would be looking at Dylan Livengood, Matt Kingsbury, Victor Valley, and Jacob Kraus. 10 laps in Summit Point, and it's going to be very hard to top last season's race here. But even without Parise, we certainly are in for a great race. Glad you could join us on the Automotive Sports Network, and we thank you all season long for your viewership. 6 Subarus and 2 Volkswagens. We know Subaru has essentially had the Manufacturers' Championship all season. This obviously clinches that. Getting ready in Summit Point. green flag off the line. Simpson gets a slightly better jump, then Kraus down to turn number 1, but it's a very short run down to the corner. Matt nearly hits Ray. Living Good battling with Valley as Kraus leads Simpson, Mertz, Kingsbury, Living Good, Valley, Kraus. Down the hill, Kraus has a huge lead over Chad Simpson already, as Simpson splitting the MRT teammates. You know this is not a fun day for the defending champion, as he sees his teammate driving away from him and a big red splotch of color in between him and his teammate. But Simpson and Kraus certainly on the pace today. As usual, no jokers on the first lap of the race, so we'll see how the strategies begin to unravel. And there's a lot of dirt coming up on that final corner because we have a lot of guys cutting the inside curb there as Kraus leads at the end of the first lap. Mertz locks it up, nearly hits Simpson, runs it wide into turn number 1. No jokers. Actually, Ray Kingsbury, does joker, and Valley. So Ray jokers, and so does Valley. Nobody from the top 3. Obviously, it was a start lap, but 59.4 to a 1-minute 4 to a 1-minute 8. So Simpson's a little slower than Kraus. And that's interesting to see because Simpson was much quicker than Kraus in practice, but Kraus was able to pull it out in qualifying. Down the front straightaway. Matt Kingsbury in the 4th position as Living Good battling with Jacob Kraus. Mertz jokers in car number 1. That puts him behind Living Good. Actually, as they battle, nearly hitting are the best friends. And over the radio, Living Good's going to let the one through. As we know, Dylan Living Good in a one-off drive, normally part of race control, but the Canadian in a one-off drive. Great to see him back in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. Certainly in much better health than previously. Valley in the 60. I think Ray might have jokered again because he is in front of Jacob Kraus. And the top 2 have not jokered yet. Let's look from high above. As Jacob Kraus off the road in the 42. No jokers from the top 2 yet. Matt has not jokered either. So it's just straightforward at the moment in the middle of the race. I believe Mertz jokered again. If we look through the field, I believe he did because Living Good has not jokered yet. Valley has not jokered yet. Mertz's strategy is complete, and off the road goes car number 1. He's ahead of Ray. So these 2, I think their strategies are done. It's going to be up to them to pick through the traffic. Because right now, Kraus and Simpson have all this open track, and they don't have to worry about passing any cars. As we take cross flags here in West Virginia. Championship leader does not joker yet. Simpson does not joker yet. It's going to be all down to these guys and when they decide to joker. But Kraus ran a 57.3 last lap. 0.7 of a second faster than what he did in heat number 1. According to the last lap, he was 0.3 of a second faster than Chad Simpson. Simpson ran a 57.6. And it's always known in racing or any type of sport, when you are the hunter, you are much quicker than when you are the hunted. Case in point, last season when Kraus was the defending champion and Mertz is the defending champion this season. As you'll notice what Kraus did, hooked the curb on the right-hand corner there, kicks up all the dirt. That's totally legal, but it's very slippery into the final corner. Now we take cross flags as we complete halfway in Summit Point. He still does not joker. As Simpson, you might have noticed in the back of the shot, did joker in the 24. He's going to get passed by Matt Kingsbury, I believe. As no, his teammate followed Simpson. Valley jokers in the back of the shot as well. So we'll put Valley behind Ray Kingsbury in the 25. So let's head to the sharp end of the field and reset the running order halfway home in West Virginia. Philip Kraus leads from Simpson, from Matt Kingsbury, from Dylan Livengood, from Mertz, Ray Kingsbury, Valley, and Jacob Kraus. We rejoin the race leader. 4 laps to go. Trying to get 3 wins in a row, and the only other time that happened, I believe, was 2014 B with Cody Erdman, Island Rally, Germany, and I believe he won in Spain. Simpson, no contest between him and Kraus. That was alarming with the level of no contest between those guys. As we'll take a look at our stats while we have a moment. The last time 3 wins in a row, it was Erdman, Island Rally, Munich, and St. Eustache, I stand corrected. 2014 B. And Kraus, if he can pull this off, yes, there's a couple laps left, but if he can pull this off, he will be 1 win away from tying Chris Wetz on second for the all-time wins list. As Chris Wetz, the veteran, 19 wins in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. 3 laps to go for the Canadian. And he has had the upper hand on Chad Simpson all day long. Matt Kingsbury in the 21 has not jokered yet. That's going to put Mertz back to 3rd, I think, as they both joker. The strategies are done from the top 2. And Kingsbury beat Simpson, but Kingsbury hasn't jokered yet. And the top 3 are on such a different pace differential comparatively to each other. Kingsbury runs it wide in the 21. I think he realizes that he does not have the pace to be on the podium. He still has a joker left. As Ray sees the defending champion out of his windshield. Victor Valley in 6th, Livengood in 7th in his one-off drive. Just trying to get used to the car in car number 51. His last lap was a joker lap. And off the final corner, 2 laps to go for Philip Kraus. A very straightforward race in West Virginia, but certainly a strategy-filled race. As Kingsbury still holds second spot, but he has a joker left in car number 21, and that is the pin to the grenade. Because once he jokers, that's going to elevate everyone back to their existing positions. And what a day for Chad Simpson. He hasn't made a final all season long. And here he is on pace to finish 2nd. What a rejuvenation for the American for Last Lap Motorsports. Not on pace today is the defending champion, car number 1. 58.5 was his last lap. If we look at his fastest lap, it was a 58 flat compared to Kraus, a 57.3. So certainly, once again, just like Daytona, something not going on in car number 1. White flag for Philip Kraus. We'll have to look for Kingsbury here in the 21 to joker. He does joker. That's going to release Simpson and Mertz back to the podium places. Ray Kingsbury 4th. Matt Kingsbury 5th. As Simpson in the 24. As Mertz is around in the 1. And the defending champion spins from 3rd. The brothers go by. They are now battling for a podium spot. As Mertz has dropped from 3rd to 6th. Very strange. It looks like he clipped the grass in turn 4. And off the road he went. Back to the sharp end of the field. While his teammate struggles, Philip Kraus inches closer to a 3rd championship with a 3rd win in a row and the 4th for the season for the Canadian, winning in Summit Point. 2nd will be Simpson in car number 24. Ray Kingsbury will beat his brother Matt for third. Valley comes home in the 5th position. Noticing telemetry, 6th gear, 90 miles an hour. Mertz is extremely upset at himself in car number 1 as Living Good comes home 7th and Jacob Kraus in 8th. But look at this guy, 3 wins in a row. What a championship fight that we had, and that he has extended his lead to 31 points over Connor Parise. So for 2 seasons in a row, it looks like MRT will clinch the championship early, but we'll have to wait for next week. As what a race in West Virginia. 31 points is the gap from Kraus to Parise. Moftaw third with 117, Mertz 112, and Kingsbury 106. That's your top 5. We go back on dirt next week in Indianapolis at the Lucas Oil Raceway, and then Iowa to close it out, and we hope to see you there. From all of us here at the Automotive Sports Network, congratulations to Philip Kraus, and we hope to see you next week in Indianapolis. But until then, so long, everyone.